Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into something so common, so everyday, that we barely even notice it anymore. But its invention completely revolutionized human civilization. I'm talking about paper. It's hard to imagine a world without it, right? No books, no newspapers, no birthday cards, not even money as we know it. So, where did this incredible invention come from? Let's turn back the pages of history and find out. Before paper, ancient civilizations had to get pretty creative to record information. The Egyptians used papyrus, made from the pith of the papyrus plant. It was groundbreaking for its time, but it was also brittle, expensive, and didn't hold up well in climates outside of dry Egypt. In other parts of the world, people wrote on clay tablets, bamboo slips, animal hides known as parchment and vellum, and even turtle shells. Imagine trying to carry a library of clay tablets around. Not exactly practical. Each of these materials had its drawbacks. They were either heavy, expensive, fragile, or difficult to produce. The world was desperately in need of a better solution. A cheaper, lighter, and more durable writing surface. The breakthrough came around 105 AD in China, during the Han Dynasty. The credit for the invention of paper as we know it is traditionally given to a court official named Cai Lun. Now, it's likely that earlier, more primitive forms of paper existed before him, but Cai Lun was the one who perfected the process and standardized its production, making it viable for widespread use. He was a brilliant innovator. He figured out how to create a pulp mixture from things like mulberry bark, hemp waste, old rags, and even fish nuts. These raw materials were mashed into a pulp. With water, a large screen was dipped into the vat to catch a thin layer of the fibers, and then it was pressed, drained, and dried to form a sheet of paper. This new material was a game changer. It was lightweight, flexible, and most importantly, affordable to produce. The Chinese government quickly realized its value. For centuries, they kept the papermaking process a closely guarded secret. This gave them a massive advantage in administration, literature, and art. While the rest of the world was still carving into stone or writing on heavy parchment, China was developing a rich literary culture, all thanks to paper. Knowledge could be spread more easily, bureaucracy became more efficient, and art forms like calligraphy and painting flourished. So, how did this top-secret technology finally get out? Well, history has a funny way of letting secrets slip, often through conflict. The secret of papermaking began to spread eastward to Korea and Japan, where the art was further refined. In Japan, they developed washi paper, known for its incredible strength and beauty. But the major turning point came in the 8th century, during the Battle of Talas in 751 AD. The Arab Abbasid Caliphate captured some Chinese soldiers, and among them were skilled papermakers. They were forced to reveal their secrets, and from there, the technology spread like wildfire across the Islamic world. The Islamic Golden Age saw a massive boom in intellectual and scientific progress, and paper was the fuel for this fire. Cities like Baghdad and Damascus became centers of learning, with massive libraries filled with paper books on mathematics, astronomy, medicine, and philosophy. They improved the process further, using a trip hammer powered by water to pound the pulp, which made production even more efficient. For the first time, knowledge was not just for the elite. It was becoming accessible. Paper manuscripts were a fraction of the cost of parchment, making books more affordable for scholars and the slowly growing literate public. From the Islamic world, papermaking technology finally made its way into Europe through Spain and Sicily around the 12th century. The first paper mills in Christian Europe were established in Spain, and then Italy became a major center for papermaking. However, Europeans were initially skeptical. They were used to the durability of parchment, and saw paper as a flimsy, less prestigious material. It took a while for it to catch on. But as trade and literacy grew, the demand for a cheaper writing material became impossible to ignore. Paper was the answer. The real explosion in paper's popularity in Europe came with another revolutionary invention. Johannes Gutenberg's printing press in the mid-15th century. Before the printing press, every book had to be copied by hand, a slow and expensive process. The printing press could produce books quickly and cheaply, but it needed an equally cheap material to print on. Parchment was way too expensive for mass production. Paper was the perfect partner for the printing press. Together, they democratized knowledge. The Protestant Reformation, the Renaissance, the scientific revolution, all of these world-changing movements were powered by the mass distribution of ideas on printed paper. From the 15th century onwards, the demand for paper skyrocketed. The old methods of using rags as the primary fiber source couldn't keep up. Rag collectors, or ragmen, became a common sight, scouring towns for old clothes and textiles. It even led to shortages and international disputes over rag supplies. A new, more abundant raw material was needed. The solution came in the 19th century with the invention of wood pulp paper. Innovators like Friedrich Gottlob, Keller in Germany, and Charles Finnerty in Canada independently developed processes to make pulp from wood fibers. This was another massive leap forward. Trees were a plentiful and cheap resource. Suddenly, paper could be produced on an industrial scale at an incredibly low cost. This led to the rise of the modern newspaper, the penny dreadful novel, and the widespread use of paper for packaging, wrapping, and countless other applications. It transformed communication, education, and commerce. However, this early wood pulp paper had a problem. The acidic process used to make it caused the paper to become brittle and yellow over time. If you've ever seen an old paperback from the mid-20th century, you know exactly what I'm talking about. This led to the development of acid-free paper in the late 20th century, which is now the standard for books and documents that need to last. Today, the paper industry is a global giant. We've developed specialized papers for everything imaginable, from glossy photo paper to waterproof paper, and even paper that can conduct electricity. But this massive consumption has also brought significant environmental challenges, like deforestation and pollution. In response, the industry has been pushing towards more sustainable practices, with a huge focus on recycling and using certified, responsibly managed forests. Recycling paper is crucial because it uses significantly less energy and water than making new paper from wood pulp. So, from a secret in ancient China to a global commodity, the journey of paper is a story of innovation, cultural exchange, and the unending human quest for knowledge. It's a technology that has shaped our world in more ways than we can count. The next time you jot down a note, read a book, or even use a paper bag, take a moment to appreciate the incredible history held within that simple sheet. It's a silent witness to the rise and fall of empires, the spread of ideas, and the progress of civilization itself. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this history as fascinating as I do, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the inventions that changed the world. Let me know in the comments what everyday object you'd like to see us cover next. See you in the next video.